Welcome to Semiahmoo Art's Great Canadian Cook-Off event. 4 chefs from local restaurants in South Surrey White Rock have created delicious food for you to harness the power of food and connect the seniors in our community. With our Great Canadian Cook-Off event, we hope to create a meaningful and fun experience for everyone to get connected and creative in a fun and meaningful way. We also invite you to recreate your favorite dish out of the 4 and take a picture and share it with us on Instagram using the hashtag #SASeniorsCooking. Happy cooking, everyone!
Should I go? Oh, hi there! Hi, and welcome to Uli's. For those of you who don't know, Uli's has been an establishment in White Rock for a very long time, 1986, before some of you might have been born. I have been with Uli's for 13 and a half years now, since Tyson, the original owner's son, took over. I started in the kitchen, part-time, working days, and eventually somehow ended up here as your general manager and executive chef. So we're in June. It is the full swing halibut season, and today we're going to cook up some pan-seared halibut with some fresh local veggies. It's really important to us to stay local, support our community, support our butchers, our bakers, our farmers, anybody who is producing great quality food. This is what we want to serve to you here at Uli's. We're gonna head over and make some halibut with Carly and Mateo. Okay, Mateo, we're gonna make some halibut today.
Ooh.
I got some new potatoes. Went to Mary's garden. I picked all the babies out.
Cute.
And we got some Washington asparagus. We got Mary's own baby carrots. This lemon did not come from anywhere around here. We definitely need it. It's strawberry season, so we might as well have a strawberry salad. Mary also makes this Swiss chard. Tyson grew these chives right here. I gave him some seed last year, and now they're all over his yard, so we'll do him a favor and use some of those up. We have also some radishes that we're going to cook. Sounds crazy, but we are going to do
Cooking radishes.
We're cooking
Okay.
radishes. And we have to talk about this butter lettuce, because this is not that little thing that fits in a clamshell that you get from the grocery store. These are the real deal right here. Well, we need to do some prep work, so we'll get some vegetables chopped. We haven't cleaned any of these, but I know that they haven't been grown with any sprays or other weird chemicals, things that make you sick. We're just gonna give them a little rinse in the sink. So our carrots, this is it. This is their time. This is their spring. They're all these cute little babies. You barely have to trim the tops, and these guys didn't come with a lot of top. If they did, you could make pesto with it. You can make pesto with just about anything. So carrots, we're not making pesto today, but we've got some halved carrots. They're all approximately the same size. This will help us cook them at the same time. We'll throw them in this bowl here. The asparagus. What were we talking about asparagus?
Washington asparagus. From the moment that they plant the seed, it takes 4 to 5 years for the asparagus to actually be harvestable. But the plants can keep growing up to 20 years. So it's a very...
So basically, it's like raising children.
It's like raising children.
All right.
But you get to eat them at the end.
Yeah, well, and you get to bend them to see where they break. Don't do that with your children. That's not something you should do. This big guy I'm going to cut, actually, because he won't cook at the same time as his friends if we don't. Sweet onion from Mary's garden. That's, I don't know, where we have to tell people where that is. Most people around these parts know where that is. 40th Avenue.
40th Avenue between 168th and 152nd.
There you go. There's construction on the road. It's a bit of a pain in the butt to get there right now. Walla Walla, Washington. These, I mean, we're lucky enough to have access to some really beautiful produce that comes out of British Columbia and Washington and California, where, you know, we can get same day delivery and it's organic and well cared for. Oh, I hear some children coming. When you're cutting your onion, this core, it's important to take that out. It's bitter. You don't want it in any part of your life. Just cut it out like that. Oh yeah, we hear people. We're live, come on in. We're cooking some halibut today, bud. So we're just gonna slice these up, chop them up nice. They don't have to be too big. I don't want them to be completely cooked through. You could eat this raw, completely raw, but we're gonna throw it in the oven with our carrots and our asparagus. Carly's here to take her place. I have your glass of wine, my love.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
Cheers. We were just talking about how long it takes to grow asparagus, as long as it takes to get your kids out of the house.
Well, that's a really long time.
Really long time.
That's a really long time.
So leeks. We're gonna save this top. We're gonna make veggie stock with that. We want this nice white tender part. And a lot of times your leeks are gonna be full of mud and dirt, and you can give them a good rinse. This one is, it's pretty clean. They took the outer edges off for me. We're just gonna go ahead and have faith that this is clean. Yeah, we're good. So again, we want all this stuff to cook at the same time when we throw it in the oven, so we need to just be a little conscious of how big this is.
Okay, so what are we doing?
Well, while you were gone, we cut some carrots, some asparagus, some onions, some leeks. We're gonna toss this all together along with our Swiss chard. I didn't bring my fancy little stemmer that my husband got me as a gift, which I was.
Stemmer.
Okay, I have this thing. It's a little leaf shape, and it's got these holes in it. If you see it at Winners or Home Sense or on the Intertubes, just get it. If you grow a lot of kale or Swiss chard, you put it through the thing and you rip all your leaves off, and you're left with these. But I mean, we're not doing a lot of hard labor here today, so I can take some of these off. And we were talking about the benefits of Swiss chard.
And they are.
Yeah, as usual.
Swiss chard kind of gets a bad rap as being a really bitter herb, but if you cook it properly, it's one of my favorite things to eat. Loaded in all sorts of vitamins, magnesium, iron, potassium. Actually has this antioxidant called camphorol, which has been tested as a anti-cancer substance. It's inhibited cancer cell growth in some studies, so it's really, really good for you.
And it does actually taste good. And we at the restaurant, we pickle the stems. You can use all the bits of this. We're gonna use them all in this. We're going to chop our stems up small. This is where we have to think about how long things are going to be in the oven for, and they're not going to be in there for a great amount of time. So these we're actually going to cut up pretty small, because this is the bitter part. This is the part where someone gave you some of this and it was not cooked properly, and now you're turned off, and this is how we get you back in.
It's the gateway chard. Right?
It actually is, yeah. Well, I find white, like the white and green, the white stems, that is a little more bitter. I soups and things better for that sort of thing, because you can control your sweetness in a large batch of something. But we just made these nice and small, minced up, and we will pop them in our bowl with the rest of our veg.
What are we doing with the leaves?
Well, the leaves, we're going to chiffonade. We're going to cut them really small, and when these veg come out from roasting, we're going to toss them in. We're going to use these more as an herb than a vegetable. So we'll just cut them up really little and put them off to the side until we get the rest into the oven.
I always love watching you cook. I find it very therapeutic.
Well,
You have such a command.
Well, I think that a lot of people, like yourself, get afraid of the kitchen.
Yeah, that's true.
But you can't let it take you down. You just decide what you want to have, what flavors you would like to eat. If do you need texture, and honestly,
It's intimidating.
it is a little bit, but and who are you?
Especially if you haven't grown up with it or if it's not normal.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. But food is a way to communicate with everybody, and
It is.
and people make themselves feel better with food. It's important. Okay, so we talked before you got here that these radishes are not, in fact, going into our salad. They are going to get cooked.
Oh, cooked.
Yeah, and it's not something that until I really got into Asian cuisine that I even really thought about. But when you have like fresh, like French breakfast radishes, pull them out, throw them in a pan with some butter and salt. That's it. It's
That's
over.
something new to me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
Tyson
Same
said
thing,
that the
yeah.
other day, like spreading butter on a radish.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, what wonky land are you from? Where
Yeah,
you butter a radish? But
Yeah, and the tops, just like the carrot tops, can all be turned into pesto.
Radish top
Really?
pesto is some
I
of
didn't
my
know that.
favorite.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
yeah, we've been serving it we were serving it with the halibut, and now we're serving kale, which is the only thing I chose the chard over the kale. I feel like kale has a spotlight right now, and it doesn't need me helping it out.
It's the media darling. at the
Yeah.
moment.
100%.
But that's such a good way to use the whole vegetable, is
Yeah.
by turning the tops into a pesto. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of people wouldn't know that.
Well, no, everybody throws their
Yeah.
carrot top for sure. Everybody throws their
Yeah.
carrot tops out. It's not something that
I mean,
I
one of the
really
worst
thought about.
comedians is named after the carrot.
Is he the worst? I don't know.
He's
Probably
up there.
isn't the show for that.
He's up there. But oddly enough, his name is after the top, and the top of him is orange. Like
He's got
Right,
like
not
a
green.
I don't know.
giant ginger afro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you were carrot top, you
Yeah.
should be green on the top.
Yeah.
Your body
Yeah,
should be orange.
makes no sense. But anyway,
We cut the radish. The radish is now a very suitable size for roasting. Okay, so let's revisit our bowl. We have the carrots, the Washington asparagus, radishes, some sweet onion, some leek, and our minced chard stem. And I think that's all we need for that. We're going to drizzle it in some olive oil, and we were talking about fats. Fats are good for us. This is one of the good fats for us. Tell us all about olive oil and how amazing that is for us.
so it's just any olive oil?
Well, no, but you know what? Olive oil, you can't get a lot of bad olive oil out there too much anymore. People
Most
been
of them are
called on
pretty
that.
good. I mean, the main thing to look for when you're buying olive oil is to make sure that it says product of and not bottled in.
Yes, yes.
Because if it says product of, it means it was made at the same olive orchard and they use all the same harvest. Whereas if it says bottled in, they typically end up getting olives from all over the place, and then they make it in the one spot so that they can say, oh yeah, it comes from here, even though they have some Greek olives and Spanish olives.
Like box wine.
Yes,
See?
yes, precisely. It's like box wine.
So don't buy box wine unless someone has told you that it's good. And don't buy bottled in olive oil.
Yeah.
But this is where we talk about omegas. All your omega-3s and 6s and your good fats and fats for your brain and the stuff that separates us from our ancestors, the monkey folk.
Yeah.
Is that
You
the
can talk to
technical term?
Adrian all about that. Okay, so let's look at this. We have a roasting pan with a sheet of parchment on there, just so that we don't have to do a lot of scrubbing and cleaning later. Really, I do encourage the use of parchment when roasting anything.
That is beautiful.
We're
That
gonna
is
get this.
a confetti of vegetables you have.
Well, and this is it. This is what's in season. This is what's growing. This is how we should eat. Our bodies, I think, need certain things at certain times. We don't always get asparagus, but there are some, micronutrients in our spring veg that I don't think we get in late harvest. Price-wise, this is the best way to go. It's hard when people don't have access to fresh foods, and because in season they should all be at their best price.
Yeah.
That's when we should be eating it. Okay, we sprinkled some cracked pepper and a little bit of salt. We'll dress it up a little bit more when it comes out of the oven at 475. And we'll see you in about, I'm gonna say 15, 18 minutes. So, all right, here we go. We need to talk about salting water. I know a lot of people are afraid of salt. There's really nothing to be afraid of when you are cooking your potatoes and cooking your pasta. Nobody wants you to add a teaspoon of salt to your sandwich or your salad but we need to salt our water, and there are a lot of reasons, and when Mateo gets back on Jujel, we will find out all of them, but I'll tell you right now that the flavor of your potato and pasta will be subpar if you do not salt your water before you start cooking. So, we are going with, I'm going to call this 2.5 teaspoons. We've got about 3.5 liters of boiling water. These little guys, I bought them locally. I know where they came from. There's nothing harmful on their skin. I would chew on one of these raw right now. I'm gonna just worry about their skins and stuff when they come out. And right now we're just gonna give them a little bath. Okay. Veg is in the oven, potatoes are cooking. We dried the halibut pieces here with some paper towel. It'll just help adhere the salt and pepper for seasoning. So we're gonna do this in about, I'd say 5 minutes. And then we can throw it in the oven with our veg, and we'll try to time this so dinner's ready on time. And then we talked about this beautiful butterlet. What did we need to talk to Mateo about? Salt.
Salt.
So I said that we can't fear salting our potatoes and our pasta water.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm all just like,
I always forget
because it's flavorful. But
Yeah.
there's something that happens to your potatoes. Say I was gonna parboil these and then toss them in olive oil and roast them off, and I want a nice crispy. If I didn't salt that water, no matter what you do, they're not getting crispy. And I do not know the science behind it. I just know that it's a rule. This is how I live my life.
I'm sure the salt pulls out
Well,
the excess water.
There's some of that. Was that my alarm? It's time for Carly to just check her phone.
So part of the reason why you salt water, other than improving flavor, is it increases the temperature that the water boils at.
There you go.
Because salted water has a higher boiling temperature, and so it helps resist the water molecules from escaping the pot and becoming steam.
There you go. I love this. All right, so these strawberries, they're local. They are a little bit beat up. They're not those precious clam-shelled strawberries that you buy that come from all various parts of California. These are real strawberries.
Yeah, they're real. They're body positive strawberries.
Yeah, they're just showing you all their bits. They have some bruises. They took some hits. They got some clay.
But they taste so much better.
They're amazing, and there's no, I think, better way than we're just gonna clean them up and serve them with some of this butter lettuce, a little bit of shallot, some olive oil, and I brought this.
Yeah.
I brought this little. I got a little pomegranate balsamic, a little reduction. Anything, any little. You really don't even need much. People like the poppy seed
I've
dressing.
never heard of
sometimes.
this. This is cool.
This is a good one. Okay, so let's wash these up here. And we are going to use, I zested some lemons and limes for, I'm not sure, something I made. Had leftovers. I threw it on a plate with some salt for a couple of days, and now I have this little jar of citrus salt.
Sweet.
It's very handy for seasoning the halibut. So remember, some of this sticks to the pan, and it's never going to be quite as peppery as it looks right now.
And why is that?
Well, because it just does.
Does it just chill out when it's cooking, or what?
Well, some of it stays in the pan. You're not going to get it all back. You're gonna get pull oils from there.
Okay.
In our sear. And we're gonna put some of this citrus salt. Again, don't be afraid of the salt.
You taught me also how to not be afraid of salt. I feel like I've been afraid of salt for many years.
Yeah, well, my family went through the Mrs. Dash stage too, and also don't even get me started with margarine, because...
Like Molly McButter.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
complete
Yeah.
garbage, yeah.
Google it.
Just
It's
usual
not-
Molly
it's not good
McButter
stuff.
and read the ingredients. For sure, it's not even, there's not one food bit in it.
So what are we gonna do with the straws?
We are just going to, we're just gonna slice those up. I'm gonna heat up this
Oh,
pan.
there is butter in Molly McButter.
Oh, is
Oh.
there?
Yeah.
Okay, how
There
much?
is?
I mean, it's the
And
third
in what
ingredient
form?
in.
Oh, third.
I'm impressed.
Maltodextrin, salt, butter, cornstarch, buttermilk, tricalcium phosphate, whey, non-fat dry milk, natural flavor,
Oh.
mysterious,
Natural
sunflower
flavor.
oil, color, modified cornstarch, and silicon dioxide.
Yeah, okay, well,
Molly is
or,
a complex. Yeah.
or butter. I think butter just has like cream and salt.
Yeah.
Okay, our potatoes have been boiling for, I don't know, maybe 6 minutes.
That's my guess.
We better test them. They are pretty little.
Okay.
We'll find a big guy. Yeah, we're close. We probably got another 2 or 3 minutes there. Okay, we're heating up the cast iron. This is the way to cook when you're at home, on a mountain, wherever. Cast irons, where's that? It's heavy and it's really hard on induction stoves, which is why induction stoves are horrible. But if you have one and you have to use cast iron, just don't drop it too hard. Okay, so we're gonna use a combo of avocado oil, and that's because of its high burning temp. It says right here, 520 degrees Fahrenheit. We're not getting quite there. But also we're gonna use butter because it tastes good. Now, when our butter is full sizzle, that's when we know. And I watched this hilarious video. Carly might remember it.
Which videos?
When we were in Hawaii, and the chef was showing us how to make those mahi bennies, and he said, always put the fish away from you, and then he put it towards himself and splashed himself with oil. Anyways, always put the fish away from you.
Yeah.
So you don't splash and burn yourself. Alright, they're in there. We're gonna season the other side. Alright, these are citrus, salt, black pepper. We're gonna let these get some color on them. We're gonna flip them over and put them in the oven beside the veggies. Okay, and I think these potatoes are done.
Yeah.
Okay, we have our adorably perfect new potatoes. These are, honestly, this is why spring exists. Tasting, you can pick one out. Do you want to pick a one? Let's pick one out. They're
So
hot
cute.
and delicious. So they're done. We don't have to do anything to it. I'm gonna put a little bit of butter and some salt and some pepper, put the lid on, and we're just gonna go back to those when we're ready to plate.
I found some more wine.
That's great. I lost the tongs. Oh, they're in the bowl. All right, let's see. Oh yeah,
That looks really good.
let's have a peek at these halibut. I think that we're just about ready to toss into the oven. Yeah, that's lovely. Some nice color. Let's spin our veggies.
There.
There we
There
go.
we are.
We'll see you in a bit. All right. So we've cut our strawberries. We need to pick some lettuce. Maybe let's get a plate to make a salad on.
Need a sip of your wine.
So again, I can't stress this enough. There's really nothing better than fresh picked produce. It's time to enjoy it. I love and appreciate preserves. That's for the winter. Our tinned fish and whatnot. We do enjoy a tinned fish party now. But this is something different, and it's something special, and it's something that not everybody gets to have. So, all right, you want to give those a little rinse off for us?
And it gives the year texture, right? So you have these like earthy, rooty
Yeah, there's
things in the winter.
in the winter, all you want to do is drown in like
Yeah.
thick soups and grilled cheese sandwiches. And I always have that last winter meal. It happened the other day. I made French onion soup, and that was it. That was my send off. There will be no more winter meals. It's spring and summer only, which means I do need to buy a new barbecue. So if anybody knows where I get a great new barbecue, it's time. Ours finally, I killed it. I killed it. It had
do to it.
I don't know. I used it too much. Shallots. Again, this is our third of the onion. We should talk about the onion family.
Onion family.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've used 3 separate members of the onion family in this meal so far. We used the Walla Walla sweet onions, the shallots for the salad, and actually something not a lot of people know is that leeks are very closely related to onions as well.
Makes sense.
I need texture in my life. I crave crispy over any flavor any time of the day. These are some very nicely toasted pumpkin seeds. Okay, we have taken our roast vegetables out. So there's our roasted veg. Everything is tender and crisp and golden brown, and it smells just bloody amazing. There we go. Parchment.
It does smell amazing.
Okay, we're gonna add in our Swiss chard leaves. Okay, and we're gonna go and peek in the oven here. I feel like our halibut's done. All right, there's our sizzling golden brown halibut. When we poke it, it's firm but not hard. And there we are. Okay, our halibut's out, the potatoes are done, the veg are out. We're gonna build these now. It's not that hard. We're just gonna make some space, get some plates.
Yeah, I mean everything we've been using so far for this meal has been very high in omega fatty acids, unsaturated fats, lots of B vitamins, lots of niacin, all like a lot of really good antioxidants that have a lot of benefits in terms of heart health, kidney health. They help manage symptoms of pancreatitis. There's a lot of good stuff in all the food we've thrown into.
Will it help
these
my
items.
liver at all?
It will help your liver.
Okay, well this is great news.
So you have the wine and
I
then you have the food,
yeah, this
right?
is. So here are our lovely little potatoes. They've had a little bath and in their butter, salt and pepper. We've got our roasted veg, and they're seasoned. When we put them in there, they don't really need much else. Look at that little piece of halibut on there. We've got these beautiful garden chives. So we've got our chives here. And we're gonna go and dress our salad, but before we hit our salad, we're just gonna hit this with a little bit of olive oil. And then we'll do the same to our salad here. Give it a nice drink. Need a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. All right, so we've got our salad. We've got our halibut. And if we weren't talking so much through this, it probably would only have taken about 35 minutes. But we had a good time.
We
chatted about stuff. It's easy to do. It takes just to release, to go to the store, buy what's local and fresh and looks good to you, and find a way to put it on a plate. And I think that's it.
Very good job, Jenny. As usual.
Thanks, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and I encourage you to try it at home. It's a beautiful day out today. Let's go have a peek. The sun is shining, the patio is full. It's gonna be a great summer, everybody. Thanks for watching. You can get the full recipe on our in a link on our Instagram at Uli's Restaurant. Thanks, guys.